And we are live. Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake. Hope you create something awesome today. Welcome back to the channel. We have a channel review today. We usually do these on Fridays. I was not feeling up to it last week, and last night I told you I had some issues, so I wasn't able to get back home to do it. But we're doing a makeup here to end out the month of May. We will do up to 10 YouTube channel reviews. We will pop those up on the screen. In the meantime, until we get our reviews in, if we get them, we might only have 5 people do it tonight since we're not doing it on our Friday like we normally would. So, if anything, we'll do a little bit of advice for small YouTube channels, and I'll show you guys some stuff in YouTube analytics here in the YouTube studio. It's actually very rare that a larger channel will run you through their YouTube analytics. I don't mind actually even showing you some stuff from YouTube advanced mode. You just have to keep in mind that my version of the advanced mode dashboard for YouTube might look a little different than yours because I get access to when they do testing and betas and updates and things like that. So sometimes there'll be a panel that might be in a different position or might look a little different on my screen than on your screen. But I try my best to try to be very transparent with you guys. I mean, you see, I don't even mind showing you what some of the videos do here in terms of ad revenue and things like that. Um, and so the goal here is to help smaller channels with advice. And we do that in a couple of ways. We do that with channel reviews live here on the channel in exchange for super chats, where I will give you a piece of constructive criticism on something that you need to change that's probably hurting you right now, a piece of encouragement on something you're doing well that you should keep doing. And then finally, one of the things I tried to do is I tried to give you a nugget of strategy that I think is actionable and will probably have the most impact on improving your situation. And we try to use each channel as a teachable moment. Now, if you're looking for how you get your channels reviewed, the information is in the description of the video. We also hopefully here, and let me check in with my mods. We'll have them helping us out as well. So we are live doing the catch up stream if any of you are around. So just checking in with my mods here. And so what we'll do is the mods also help me keep track in Google Sheets of the different questions and things that we're doing for review. And so they're extraordinarily helpful with that. They're very good about that. And it does help me with keeping up with all of this. We also track people who've done reviews in the past and say, oh, so and so has improved quite a bit, or so and so has grown quite a bit, so on and so forth. So we do those kind of things. Also, we can also help you a little bit with a tool that we use that I like to promote. They're a sponsor of ours. Our friends over at 1 of 10 have one of the best YouTube tools around. So at 1of10.com, if you use code Roberto at checkout, they give you 20% off. So they have this really good YouTube tool. Um, I would argue that it's much better than vidIQ and TubeBuddy because it functions very differently than theirs, in a completely different way. And it's a modern YouTube tool. One of the other things that they added recently to this, to the Pro version, is that the Pro version now also has a thumbnail generator and a title generator. So that's something that's available. And one of the things I also like about this is it does help you figure out more or less what your niche is. Or rather, let me phrase that. It helps you figure out what the people in your niche are doing that's actually working in terms of outlier videos. So if you want to check that out, there's a link for you in the description if you want to give that a whirl. Sorry, I'm just fixing something on my computer right here. Um, I don't know why I'm having trouble with my other screen here. Yep. Now I'm just having trouble with my screen in general here. So it's giving me a couple issues. Don't love whenever I have a technical issue. We got home rapid repair in the house. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, information on getting reviews are in the description. So it has all the information there. In fact, it actually could, if any of the mods can post that in the chat, we can actually address that and pin it like in the chat so people know exactly how the channel reviews work. Oh, looks like we've got our first request here. For a review. Give me a second here. All right, so we've got our first channel review request from Plot Armor. Thank you. The tips you gave me last month worked really well. I'm almost monetized now. Good for you, Plot Armor. Impressive, most impressive. So let's take a look at your channel. And let's make sure we have that muted so that it doesn't mess up here in YouTube. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at Plot Armor and see how they're progressing. So we got the Plot Armor YouTube channel. And it leads off with an impressive sub count, road to 1 million here. Excellent. And leads off with for some of the best anime and manga content on YouTube. So again, very good lead off with your one-liner, tells people exactly it is. One point of quick criticism here is consider putting your upload schedule in the banner in some way so that when people come to the channel, they know exactly. Oh, it's not you said that's not your channel? Oh, my bad. Well, again, teachable moment even for me. So you said that's not your channel? Let's see. Nope, all good. YouTube just needs to give me the ability to easily get to your channel, which it does not do. So that's a thing. Oh yeah, because your channel's logo is different than that. No worries. Okay, so yeah, you do the Yu-Gi-Oh channel that we talked about in one of our previous reviews. All good. Yep, no, we found it. So we're just going to link to it over here. So actually, this actually works out better. So Plot Armor, this is a Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Welcome to the Shadow Realm. And you do have your schedule in the banner. So dig that. Smart. Something you could do is you could add more playlist to the homepage layout here, especially for mobile. That will probably help you quite a bit. I'd push the featured channel for your other channel down to the bottom, actually. So let's look at the videos. Yep, you're almost monetized. You probably get it tonight. There might be a couple of Yugi people in the chat that probably end up subscribed. This actually is doing well, and I'm glad you did take my suggestions on really focusing on how the meta is working for these players. These views are excellent. You're getting more views than you have subscribers in many cases. So it looks like the strategy we talked about since talking about the Blue Eyes engine a while back has worked out. Easily Summon as a series has been working good. So yeah, going with Obelisk or Chaos Max Dragon, that was really good. Well played there. Um, Smart. So it looks like the Easily Summon series is working out for you. And talking about the meta in Master Duel is working. So it does look like these suggestions we made are working. So in terms of the Fiendsmith engine guide, that feels like it could be more of an evergreen video, or maybe it just doesn't perform as easily. But I do think that the thumbnail is still in line with what should be working for your channel as a whole. Let's see here. You did a live stream for Master Duel. I think in general, live streams are going to do well for you. Let's see what's going on with shorts over here. Good views on your shorts. Excellent. People love these. I actually see these in my own feed. I see stuff like this in my own feed. So definitely keep up the shorts. They are working, and those are doing really solid views now. People do love these Master Duel shorts, so I would absolutely keep doing that. You might be able to farm more Master Duel shorts from your live streams, so that's a possibility. Just in terms of a easier workflow for you. So that's something to think about here. Overall, very strong, very good in execution of the advice from your previous review. So I see the growth, and I think for 56 videos with you know, figuring all of this out and being able to be consistent, I think you're doing really well, if I'm being honest. Especially for the number of videos. It's actually pretty rare for someone to be doing as well as you this quickly, if I'm being honest. And the sheer amount of videos, they're getting more views than subscribers, extremely helpful. Let me see something. And even within the last 3 weeks, you did get one of your most popular videos of all time. So a thought I have for you is I also think you have to be early, if not first, definitely be early on some of the new card releases. For example, they're doing even more Dark Magician stuff. Um, so since I know that they're doing more Dark Magician stuff, I think you want to definitely make sure that you cover that fairly quickly, um, and make sure that you have a easily summoned video for the new Dark Magician cards that are coming out. I think there was an update to Mias as well. See, the good news for you is that I actually know um this niche, and I'm actually one of the only YouTube educators who would know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, to be honest. So I feel like one piece of advice I could definitely offer you based on knowing the game and understanding the culture is that you'll want to try to prioritize making videos that allow you to be very early at hype of the release of some of these new cards that are getting added to the meta. Um, and Tamias and the new Dark Magician cards definitely would be important to cover there, I feel. And I feel like if you can get that, there's views to be had there. There very much so is. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. Also, I think there was some new Egyptian god support, so I would definitely prioritize covering that as well. Let's see here. So plot armor, what do you think of my suggestions here? Um, oh, you know what you might also cover? You might also do a guide whenever they add new structure decks to Master Duel as well. Now that I think about it. There also could be a version of doing combos in the same way you do easily summon. You might want to find a format where you can make some equivalent of that of combos. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, so I think this is solid. I think you're heading in a good directions. Congratulations on almost being monetized. Like I said, I think you're going to get it here really soon. I think that within another couple of days, you will see that number flip over to 1,000 subscribers. So great job. But those are my thoughts on plot armor, a returning channel, doing another review here. I think the growth here is great. I think that taking the suggestions to heart, that this has really worked out for his channel. I think that there's smart things happening here. And again, this is the kind of thing I would watch. I think increasing the shorts and the live streams is going to be extremely helpful. I think the shorts are going to definitely help with subscriber growth. I think the live streams are going to help make farming potential shorts from Master Duel because it's just how the niche works and how the viewership works. I think that that's actually a potentially good opportunity there. The live streams may not get a ton of views. The replay views from them could help with watch time and maintaining that, things of that nature, possibly donations and super chats. So I think there are things you could do cleverly with the live streams, but I think adding streaming and shorts to the mix can only help you over time. So those are my thoughts. Let me know if you guys agree with me in the comment section if you're watching the replay. Let me know in the chat if you're watching live. Yeah, no, solid start. We have a couple of more super chats we're going to do. Stella in Paradise would love a review. Sub growth has been painfully slow versus views. Watch hours easier to achieve. Okay, we'll take a look at that. Fortune, looking for feedback on titles, new thumbnail style for the last 5 videos. April's action item from our quarterly call has sharpened the message around confidence. Views dipped after I shot short clips, though, linked to the videos. Okay, we'll take a look at that. Sewing report, good to see you. Could use a fresh eyes on my channel. Struggle to maintain a consistent upload schedule. um as videos tend to be a late time and labor intensive, viewership not so great lately. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't know where I had it, where I must have done it in the goals thing where I made the goal something like 20. I meant to make that goal 10. That's my bad. So I think we'll only do 10 tonight. I do not think I have the stamina or voice to do 20 channel reviews tonight, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Stella in Paradise. We've got you up next. So I think Stella in Paradise might be another returning channel. We'll see. So we have Stella in Paradise, tropical destinations, and all-inclusive resorts. Very strong banner, very strong profile pic, very strong about section, exploring tropical destinations and all-inclusive resorts, one PTO day at a time. Good one-liner. We're Stella and David, tropical travel lovers, promote that you don't need unlimited time off to experience paradise. Very, very strong calls to action here. Very smart to have a blog for this for travel stuff and an Instagram. Very good. Instagram does very well for brand partnerships for this stuff, even for micro and nano influencers. So very good opportunity there. Let's see. Good featured video choice. Solid layout. in terms of the playlist. I love that you make multiple videos about an individual location, and I think that's very, very smart, very thorough, and that you have them as playlist here on the channel. So from a layout perspective, very good. From hovering over this, production values are very good for vlog like travel. Definitely can get behind this. So 113 videos, 1,000 subscribers, very good overall start in my opinion. How old is the channel? Started 3 years ago, but weren't consistent back then. You guys have really only been consistent for about a year, maybe a year and a half. And travel is harder to pump out content for. The secret for high-end travel videos and production is to film multiple videos and to be able to film a series of videos, kind of like a TV show, while you're out there and make episodic content. So very smart to go with that. And now you're starting on Secret Tides. Very good. The amount of views you guys get, totally solid for a channel your size. And again, for individual locations and things of that nature, I could definitely see um, how that works. And it's intermittent, right? Because not everyone will care about every travel location. Also, it doesn't always give you the thumbnails you need. It's clear to me though that the thumbnails, and this doesn't usually end up being the case for travel videos, but it seems like you have a few thumbnail formats that work. So I think the thumbnail formats that work where they can kind of vicariously through you see what the experience is also tells them they're going to get this vlog like experience. On the other hand, if you get to show off the location, I think you should always A B test your thumbnails. So with you guys, I think you should A B test your thumbnails and make these thumbnails where each thumbnail has an A B test where you're in the thumbnail and one where you're not. And then you go whichever one, no matter what it is, performs the best for when it comes to your thumbnails. And you guys are new to the review, but you're always lurking when I'm live. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, no, you guys should definitely look into doing a one-on-one call with me. Definitely see how that could be helpful. But yeah, so one thing I would definitely say is your thumbnails are very strong overall. If I look at your most popular thumbnails, even your recent thumbnails, and these are really great views for such a small channel. So really digging that. But like I said, I think one of the most important things is you can A/B test with the thumbnails with just the location, and I think that you can A/B test with a thumbnail with you in the photo, and I think that you can see which one performs because it's not a guarantee that one performs better than the other. It just depends on the location, the timing, and who it's reaching. So would definitely look at that. I believe that you guys have used drone footage in your content and for some of these shots. So very good on you guys for that because it definitely ups the quality and it gives you some advantages in things you can do. What I would also consider is some more evergreen content like the trying on different swimwear stuff. I think you should find things that you could also make that are evergreen that you could film while on location, like this pack with me for the Maldives. I think you should do a pack with me for every trip. I also think you guys should make some on location evergreen content for just travel tips and travel guides and things that travelers can watch and things that they need to know before they travel and travel tips on a budget and things of that nature as well. If there are rules for the countries you're traveling in, I think making videos about that and making it a numbered video like something you need to know. I also think making a things you need to do before you go or things you must do while you're there. Listicle videos can do very well there. But overall, this is a really strong channel in my opinion. Like I said, the A/B testing on thumbnails I think is going to be killer for you guys. But I also think that from a strategy standpoint, just kind of making to some degree because I think one of the other things that's working for you, honestly, in general, even with the latest videos, is the they're doing well. Film these individual videos. I think making individual videos, making some things that are shorter, sure, fine, vignettes. But in general, I actually think what works for the channel and what will work for a channel like this is basically making episodic content as a travel show and making content that people can watch. Look at how well these longer videos are doing. I think you can make some shorter videos, but I think you should make a lot of 20 to 40-minute videos that people could put on their big screen TV and really enjoy this. And I think that a future for high production, high quality channels like this is making TV like content for the audience. I think that that's actually strong. And I think that that would benefit you quite a bit. And I feel like it would make a difference and make you more of a destination channel, make the channel more of a premium. So those are things that I would look at in your situation. But those are my thoughts. So, what did you all think of my review here for Stella in Paradise? Again, I think the biggest takeaway is the episodic content and making those made for TV formats. I think making some content that is also more evergreen. I think what they're doing with making series about the location and making multiple videos is smart already. Production values are great. And I think really A/B testing those thumbnails, one with you in it, one without, one that's more location based, more that's one, okay, put you in the thumbnail. So I feel like the A/B testing there, very good opportunity. And again, just go with whichever one works the best during the A/B test. So I think between, okay, do the thumbnails, they're great, but do the A/B testing. That could get more views going, make the content in episodic, almost TV like vignettes, but also with some segments that are shorter, like when you want to do a room tour, hotel tour, potentially. Okay, there could be some shorter form content there. I think that all of those things put you in a really good position and make you more of a destination channel. But what do you guys think in the chat? If you're live, let me know. If you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments. Boom. Stella says, thank you very much. Really appreciate your suggestions as well as your videos. I listen to your videos on my daily commute, have been working to implement your teachings. Thank you. Appreciate that. Cryptids and Craft says, your reviews are always excellent and so helpful. Thank you. Appreciate that. Terry W says, hey, Roberto, your advice to delete and re-upload that video that had 0 impressions was spot on. Is being shown now. Thanks. Must have been a YouTube glitch, like you said. Yep, absolutely. So, there are just some times where that happens. And, I try to acknowledge that that happens from time to time. And like I said, in a rare situation where there truly is something going wrong, I think we can just acknowledge that that's the case and then say, okay, this is one of those rare instances where the answer is literally delete and re-upload. And so that was one of those. So no problem with that. All right. So next up, we have Fortune. So pull in the channel link here. Give me a second. Also updating my form at the same time. Let's see. Is one of those instances where like Katie's presence is really missed because normally she updates the form here. But we've got it. At least we're trying to. All right, I think we've got it locked and loaded. So we have Fortune. We had his YouTube channel. Big shout out here. And be unafraid, helping you build confidence and momentum in your life. New episodes every week. Very strong branding in the banner. Great that you tell them you can expect this every week. This channel is to help people who are tired of being stuck in their own head. Very good line for the intro. Um, Good profile pic, and glad that it's different than what's in the banner there. Strong playlist feature on the channel here. Could be a little bit deeper, maybe add 2 more playlists here if you have them. Good views on these YouTube shorts. Congratulations. Good views on the YouTube shorts. I would say for the framing for the YouTube shorts, try to keep the font off of your face there. But again, not killing you in the views when it happens. So grain of salt on that. Let's see what's going on with the videos themselves. See, so 362 subscribers, 192 videos, solid views the last couple of days. Again, you might be hoping for more, but these will get to 100 plus at some point. But this is actually pretty strong for a smaller channel, and I do feel like this might represent you know overall looking at where you were before and that it's getting these views more quickly than they were. I think that you can see the beginnings of some improvement. The harsh truth about confidence no one taught you. Excellent title. Excellent title. 7 ways you're destroying your confidence. Great listicle. I think that that title could also be a little bit more compelling. Maybe it's 7 unexpected ways, or maybe it's 7 ways you're destroying your confidence every day. Maybe that makes it more compelling. 30 life lessons I wish someone told me in my 20s. Not bad, although that would have worked better as 20 life lessons I wish someone told me in my 20s. Just from a framing standpoint, that would have been stronger. But again, don't hate the title at all. I would add to this how to stop giving up on yourself and build how to stop giving up yourself and gain more confidence, or I would have how to stop giving up on yourself and gain more self-esteem. I would say instead of why quiet people overthink everything, I would change that to why introverts overthink everything. And I would probably put introverts in all caps. Yeah, I think his thumbnails and titles are strong, especially for a small channel. I think he's a small channel bringing that big creator energy in this case. So I do think that there is, um, something to be said for that. Also, thank you, Pizzles, for updating the list and getting on it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, and Pizzles, if you can update the sheet with the stats on the channels I missed, that'd be great. I see you doing that now. Appreciate you. Thank you, brother. Yeah. So again, Fortune, I think that you're heading in the right direction with these. I would continue to study self-improvement channels. Um, I would look at Captain Sinbad. I would look at Clark Cagley, and I would look at Charisma on Command. And again, I think that your titles are good, but I think sometimes they can be more compelling. I would put my titles into ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to make a more polarizing version of this title. Give me 5 suggestions. Do not lose the title's meaning, and give me titles that can be under 65 characters. And so I would use that as my AI ChatGPT prompt to improve these titles going forward, or even to revisit some of these titles for the videos that are evergreen. And so, specifically, since a part of you did ask for my advice on the titles, I do think your thumbnails are strong. I do like the approach to them. I like the consistency, the design, the framing, the body language, and the audience is responding to them. They are clicking on them. I will say something here about this before and after, though. The before and after should have been blocked off at the top, and it should have been on the top instead of the bottom, so there's no way for it to hit this timestamp in the corner for YouTube. I don't have a problem with it here because it's fine here. It's not doing anything too bad. Here you can still at least read the word. But over on the before and after, should have been on the top. So that is the change that I would make here in terms of that. I think that it's possible that this no one cares one shouldn't have been a center text thumbnail, and it probably should have been more like this don't waste your life one. So I think you could update that. But I do like this with you in the black turtleneck. In general, I think that you should just wear all black in your videos and thumbnails for the most part. Um, or potentially when you're doing this blue background, wear the red. So I think that those are two signature looks for you that work for the thumbnails. And I would absolutely do that. So again, I think the channel's heading in a positive direction. I think improvements are happening. Slow and steady wins the race, my friend. And I think you're doing a good job. So those are my thoughts for Fortune. What do you all think? Do you agree with me and my review? I think that he could just make the title slightly more polarizing, maybe using ChatGPT or even 1 of 10, and I think that that would help him. But again, I think this is an issue where ChatGPT or Claude AI will do a really good job with helping with writing specifically when it comes to this, because I don't think it's a generate an AI title situation. I think it's that he has a good concept for his titles, but then he just needs that extra oomph to make them slightly more polarizing, more compelling, more edgy, more emotionally triggering to pull more people in. And I think that either Claude AI or ChatGPT probably does the best job with that. So that's what I think for the nuance of the titles being improved there and being more emotionally compelling. I love the upload cadence. I love that he's posting every week. I love the direction of the thumbnails. I love that they're mostly realistic thumbnails and using graphic design as a flourish. So that I think is very good and very well done here. The photography and lighting, immaculate. Love that. And so, yeah, I think he's bringing big creator energy for a small channel here. I'm fine with the view counts for the size that this channel is. And so I do like this direction. So, and great on the branding overall. The branding is solid, consistent. Well done, my friend. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with my review? Let me know in the live chat if you're watching live. Let me know in the comment section if you're watching the replay. Boom. There we go. Fortune says, appreciate the feedback. We'll take it and head back to the lab. Do some work. Back to the lab again. Yep, that's what we do. Excellent. So, next up, we have sewing reports. Appreciate you. Let's see. I agree. Like the idea of using ChatGPT to help me get more polarizing titles. Yeah, it works. Like it works so ridiculously well. Um, yep. Let's see. All right, so we got a sewing report, and we've got room for a couple more channel reviews if you guys are interested. Let's see. So we have sewing report up here. I like the banner. Actually, if I'm being honest, I really do like this banner. I think that the profile pic is a lot of fun, and I think making sewing fun and approachable, let's sew together, is a great one-liner for this page. Smart that you have your Etsy link in here for monetization. Well done. Um, I think the make it fun doesn't need this white taper behind it. I think you could just use white text against the photos and just put a drop shadow behind the white text, and it'll serve the same purpose. Again, potentially put the upload schedule if there is one in the banner, just to let people know. Solid amount of overall playlist here, Jen. So nothing to really complain about there. Again, established channel. Very good on you, by the way. You got to 100,000 subscribers with less uploads than I had to do. I had to upload 800 videos to get to 100K subscribers. So again, well done. Appreciate you. And I see that the issue is you feel like views have stagnated, but let's look at if there's an opportunity to refresh your greatest hits. I do love these top-down thumbnails, by the way. I love these flat lay and top-down thumbnails. I also think it's very clever that you use a pink cutting board. And I think the aesthetics, if we look at your overall videos and the aesthetics, the production values are strong. Everything's great, Jen. So um, there is that aspect of it. You have a utility channel, so again, views can be slow, but can grow over time, as you already know. So what I would look at is some of your greatest hits. So this making a quilt from start to finish is a good example. You should have a start to finish series for multiple types of projects. So I would have a whole start to finish series and I would try to make 5 or 6 videos for that. Maybe I'd even try to make a start to finish video once a month, even though it is more challenging to make these videos because they're labor intensive. A big project like this once a month or once every other month and making like 6 of these in a year can give you very powerful evergreen content that will last for years and years and still get views. I bet you this video here on making a quote from start to finish probably still gets views every month. So I would make 6 of those every year, every other month. It can take 2 months between making it, filming it, editing, doing everything. So I would be okay with that. That makes sense. That's a bigger project video. So that's how I would approach that and utilize one of your biggest hits. Another one I would look at is I would be looking at Amazon and I would look at the sewing machines and sewing machine accessories and things that have the most reviews, the most buyers in the last 90 days. And I would actually make reviews, unboxings, and first time videos of those and make series around those, usually probably some kind of trilogy, and it could stretch out to 5 videos. Primary example, I would take a a popular embroidery machine or sewing machine from Brother. Very familiar with Brother from my own background in graphic design and in the print world. And so I would take one of these, and sure, I would do an unboxing. Then I'd do a review in basics. Then I would also do a setup guide for people, a complete setup guide. And then I would probably do a top features video and then probably one other type of video, and that would give me like a 5 video series just for that one machine. And that would help me get the most out of it. Probably a how to do embroider with it if it's an embroidery machine, how to sew with if it's that. So that gives you your 5 videos for that. That gives you a series for every machine you ever buy or review. You get 5 videos out of it. So that helps. Um I would do an entire series of videos on how to use a sewing machine, and I would just break them out into multiple videos and that cover these basics of how to do this, how to do that. I would also do a how to use an embroidery machine series, and I would always do it for the current year. So there would always be a 2025 edition, 2026 edition, 2027. Why would we do that? Recency bias for viewers. Viewers always want to watch the newest thing and want to hear fresh perspectives. So that is something I would look at. Um, so there's something. I would revisit and do from start to finish how to sew a basic scarf. I would do from start to finish how to embroider a t-shirt from start to finish. I would do a bunch of start to finish videos in a series, and this again lets you do that. I would make a series of 6 videos around the most common problems people have and troubleshooting and how to fix things when their sewing machine breaks. And so I would have a fresh series on that. You say strangely the top videos in terms of views right now are old YouTube shorts. I would keep making YouTube shorts, by the way. Absolutely. I'd also maybe do a weekly live show and do the sewing report live where you answer people's questions and where maybe you start reviewing their projects the same way. Maybe start reviewing their projects and looking at their Instagrams or their Etsy stores. Actually, I have something for you. Maybe you do Etsy store reviews the same way I do YouTube channel reviews in exchange for super chats, and you do that weekly with Sewing Report Live. So you do Sewing Report Live, you do a weekly show, you review people's Etsy stores and their print on man and fabric products and their crafting products. In the same way that I do YouTube channel reviews, you do those in exchange for super chats. Maybe for your audience and community, maybe it's $10 a super chat for you to do that, at least to start. And then that's some good money on that. Also, some good evergreen traction there. And that's something different for the channel. And that can bring your community around. And then also you can just answer general questions. That way, at least it's a highly monetizable video where you're answering questions instead of everyone trying to pick your brain for free on Instagram and in your DMs and in your emails. So that's something I would look at. Obviously, keep making short form to supplement the long form here. And I would do a lot of these top down overlay videos. I would do a lot of these flat lay videos for the Instagram shorts. I might even make your entire short strategy flat lay videos if you're not already. So that would definitely be a recommendation I do there. But yeah, that's what I think would change the game for you. And I think that overall, some of my suggestions also would help you with the consistency and frequency of the uploads and allow you to just be able to put out more content. Excuse me, sneezed before I could get to the mute button there. But yeah, those would be my thoughts for you, Jen from Sew and Report. Really appreciate you. Thanks again, always, of course, for all the support over on X. And yeah, I think there's a lot that this channel does extremely well that I was able to compliment you on. And again, I think that from a content strategy standpoint, just doing these series and being able to look at, oh, this is what lets me refresh things every single year. This is what helps with that, creates the evergreen content, flatly short strategy. I definitely think that the Soaring Report Live, but doing Etsy store reviews is a money making opportunity and also a way to galvanize your community, bring your community together. I think that's actually a really smart thing, kind of like my YouTube channel review series here. So I think that'll work out for you if I'm being honest. And also, I think that if you look at our friend Glam Girl Gabby and what she does with hair and beauty products, you could tweak your thumbnails to jazz them up a little bit more in that direction. I think that goes a long way. But what do you all think? Do you agree or disagree with my reviews and thoughts for Sewing Report? Let me know in the chat if you're live. Let me know in the comment section if you're watching the replay. Yep. So there you go, Jen. Hopefully that works out for you. Oh, we got Axe Pawpaw in the house. May have been my biggest month to date, and I owe a lot of that to you and your advice. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we got Growth Talk with Kofa. Okay, we'll get to you next. Oh yeah, you made a lot of affiliate money from the showing machines. Yeah, so I think that recycling some of that back into buying, reviewing, unboxing more of them and doing that definitely works for sure. Little Low Gamer says, I just use ChatGPT and it's amazing for rewriting titles. Thank you for suggesting it, Roberto. Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to be able to use and abuse ChatGPT as a content creator, we got a $9 product for you. We have the AI creator prompts. Mods, if you could drop the link to the AI creator prompts in the chat for them from Awesome Creator Academy, that'd be great. It's a $9 product. I have over 200 ChatGPT prompts for creators, and it works with the free version of ChatGPT, works with the paid version of ChatGPT, even works with Grok if you guys are using Grok, Claude AI, so on and so forth. So these are 200 different prompts that I made for content creators, YouTubers, podcasters, writers. Has a lot of productivity stuff in there, but also some very quick copy and paste things you can do that helps your channel out. So definitely would recommend that. We got Contempo Coding in the house. We got Victoria in the house. Awesome Creator Academy member here. Hey, Roberto, just hit 200K subs today. Congratulations. Man, I remember when you came to us with less than 40,000 subscribers, I think. I remember when you celebrated 100,000 subscribers, which I think was just like 16, 18 months ago, and now you're at another 200. So congratulations. Like, great job, Victoria. Does it work well for gaming channels? I mean, it does things like helps you with rewriting titles, so it works for everything. Um, let's see. Oh, you have a second channel for that sort of thing with Soaring Report Live. You could do it there, or you could do lives on the main channel because now we can do lives on the main channel without hurting anything. So it's just up to you which way you go with that one. Let's see here. So we got Growth Talk with Kofa. So Growth Talk with Kofa, gentlemen reaching our wealth through healing. Kofa helping men find positive. Okay. What I would say is there are visual elements here that I like, but overall, very difficult to read. I feel like this works better if you don't have a photography background for the banner, and if it was just a white or black background for the banner, that this would read better, stand out more, and would work better. I think if you're going to go with the black, red, and yellow theme, that it has to also be representative in your profile pic. I would take your headshot out of the profile pic, put that headshot, sorry, I would take your headshot out of the banner, make that one the profile pic, and I would go with this red, black, and yellow color scheme and be consistent in that way. But I also, from a graphic design perspective, would probably black out the background there in terms of the photography background to make this easier to read, because that other background isn't doing this any favors with this. I also don't think all of that text is necessary, and it might be better to have the upload schedule in there somehow, some way to set expectations. So that's an immediate actionable thing that instantly improves this. Instead of if you'd like to support the channel, I think you need to lead with this one-liner instead of if you want to support the channel, because that actually is more meaningful to the audience. So I would lead with that. I would fill out the channel homepage more with playlist because it's looking a little thin, especially on mobile. So I would do that. I'm not seeing the latest thumbnails yet, but I'm going to say you probably definitely need a consistent thumbnail system, themes, color scheme. And again, I think maybe leaning into the red and yellow for the thumbnails, but I think it needs to be done in a very consistent way if you're going to do it. What are the most popular videos on the channel here? Game of Thrones and Kevin Samuels on Power and Influence reaction. I would say that if you're going to do reaction content, that you should source similar videos to MTR, John from MTR, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. So I would source the same reactions of Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, Anton Daniels, and probably Nate the Lawyer, and I would react to the same things as them, but I would also get your thumbnail game up and get it to be a little bit more consistent. You might use AI to generate the base photos for the thumbnails and then just put your text on them, and that probably be better. I probably don't deviate from the color scheme. I probably stick with the red and yellow since they're strong colors and they can stand out. And I think that the answer here largely would be going to daily content and being a daily reaction channel with men's perspectives and notes for growing on men. And I would go with the things that probably matter most to men. So I would go with some political commentary on current events for the reaction side. I would go and react to TikToks and things, again, sourcing Anton Daniels and sourcing John from Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, and probably Nate the Lawyer. I would react to similar things to them, and I would go relationships and dating, money and finances, and to some degree, current events and politics. And I would source from those things, and probably also anything that from the money side, I would tie it to current events. Like I would tie it to stocks, tariffs, business regulation. I would look at things like instances of scandal and fraud where people got ripped off. Things that are really big on consumer finance and things of that nature, or celebrity ripoffs, like if somebody runs a the notable celebrity runs a scam or something like that. Possibly politics wise, cover some of this current stuff going on with Diddy, Tory Lanez, things like that in culture. So I would do those things. I would go daily on these issues and topics, and I would streamline the content. Maybe use StreamYard or OBS to make the production very quick and turnaround on this. And that's basically in your situation for what you've done in the past, how I'd become consistent, because I think that's your biggest issue. That's how I'd become consistent. I told you how I'd fix the branding. Sure, you're streaming every day, but the way you could do the streams is if you wanted to do the streams and if you wanted to farm the streams, what I would be doing is I'd go live every day, probably at the beginning of the day or in the evening, whichever one lets you do it with your work schedule. And I would do it and cover multiple stories. Then I would clip those up, probably with OBS, and then I would AI generate the thumbnails potentially, and then I would just be posting those, and that would let me get out a live stream every day. I'd be cutting up videos. I wouldn't be live streaming on the weekends. I'd get to post every day though, even on the weekends, and post 2 to 3 times a day because I could just cut up the segments of covering the news stories in the live stream. So I do the live stream as a news show kind of and react and do that live. Then I cut it up and repurpose it as the videos on the channel, use that for the algorithm. I farm the content that way, potentially chop up some YouTube shorts from that as well. So then that's how the sausage gets made. I also probably just repost the live streams also as a podcast over to Spotify for creators, get into the monetization program over there, and double dip. While I'm live streaming, I would live stream on Facebook, X, YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, and Kick. Get my numbers up, get monetized on all those platforms. Um, Make sure that ads are running once you get into the Twitch affiliate program. I didn't have ads running this whole time, and I should have. So I've turned that on automatically now. So now I can farm at least even a few extra bucks. I can farm Chipotle money when I live stream there. I turned on my monetization for Facebook. I did not realize I did not have the ads for monetization turned on for my Facebook. So now I have that. So also going to get at least a few shillings, a few coppers from that. So that's how I would do it if I were you. And that's how the sausage would get made. So those are my thoughts for Growth Talk with Kofa. And like I said, also get into the Spotify for Creator program. Again, I'd monetize everywhere I can. So that's what I'm thinking. What do you guys think about this strategy and about the capacity to do the daily live show, multiple videos out while barely having to edit, getting these multiple videos out and using this to take the live streams, cover 5 news stories a day in the live stream, 5 or 6 of them, pick cut them up, and then be able to post 2 to 3 videos a day and still have enough to be able to post on the weekend of what's relevant and make sure you get out content every day. I think it's a very simple, straight strategy. I think for this type of reaction channel, it lets him cover his bases of things that he cares to talk about. So those are my thoughts. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Let me know in the chat if you're live section if you're watching the replay. So there we go. That is what I have for growth with Kofa. So Elaz has a question. Hey, Roberto, I'm noticing that medium body shots work better than full frame bodies on YouTube thumbnails. What do you think of that? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Medium shots and close-ups work much better than wide shots for the most part. In every case, that's true, and that tends to also be true in Instagram as well, and not just YouTube. I am a creator economy YouTube expert or quote unquote guru. I actually know about multiple platforms. That's why I'm able to tell you guys about the Spotify for program. I'm able to talk to you guys about podcasting, repurposing short form. YouTube's my biggest platform, but I have 100K followers in X. I have almost 25,000 in Instagram, even though I barely post over there and I didn't get on Reels like I should have. I'm going to do that now. I've been, doing well over there. I have like 14K in LinkedIn, which is like having 100K in YouTube as far as LinkedIn's concerned. So I am a multi-platform person. I'm on multiple of these platforms, and I do understand more than just YouTube with it. It's just YouTube's the place that I monetize the best. It makes me the most money. It's the place I'm most successful, and it's the crown jewel of content creation. But I think a lot of you should be taking advantage of multi-streaming your live streams, farming that, and using it to get monetized on multiple platforms. I think that for live streams, they should be repurposed to audio podcast and video podcast, distributed through Spotify for creators to all the other platforms for audio listeners. I think that you should form your formats for your content in a platform agnostic way, and now use YouTube language in them. If you're going to ask for a subscribe, tell people subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way, if you're repurposing to another platform, it's letting them know you're on YouTube and to push people to the YouTube channel. So I think that is incredibly helpful in terms of that. Some of you guys are saying that a little laggy. I think I'm seeing that. If it's choppy or laggy, you just have to bear with it. Bear with me, rather. There are storms here in Georgia, and I'm just grateful to have power right now with the storms here in Georgia. So I'm also going to let you guys know in chat. Yep. So I'm just happy to still have power because we got storms out here in Georgia. So yeah. So hopefully you find that helpful. All right, so we've got our friend Ask with Papa, who has been killing it. He's also joined us over in Awesome Creator Academy, along with a few others here. So let's go ahead and check out Axe Papa. So Axe Papa is absolutely crushing it. 17,000 subscribers now, 132 videos. Congratulations, my friend, as always. I think at this point, Ask Papa, that it may be time with all of your new skills for a refresher video that can be your featured video. And it doesn't have to say welcome to Ask Papa, but it could be of just a video to tell all the new people your story, because you have so many new people over the last couple of months. So again, great job with having the playlist all filled out. Let's go to your latest videos, shall we? Crushing it. Look at these views, everybody. And see, for those of you who might remember, like Ask Papa was under 4,000 subscribers, I think, when he did his first channel review here. I think it was like maybe 3,000, 4,000 subscribers when he did his first channel review here. Um, he since has joined Awesome Creator Academy. So we've been doing some work together, and he's been participating in our group meetings that we do Tuesdays and Thursdays. We do those twice a week. And he's been getting feedback from the group. He's been contributing to the group, helping other creators. So it's been really great just having more creators help other creators in the pro group membership. And so look at this 2 weeks ago, over 250,000 views, under 20,000 subscribers. Absolutely crushing it. 23K views, 17,000 subscribers. Ask Papa, great job. Great job. The shed videos have been doing very well for you. The black and yellow theme that we talked about, that's been working for the branding. Um, I think that not all the time, but every once in a while, making these we couldn't afford something videos is very relatable, and that's very catching, and that's very powerful, and that's getting people to click. People relate to that. So well done. And I can see why this has been such a great month for you. I mean, these videos knocked it out of the park, and it just takes some outliers. Not every video does knock it out of the park, but a lot of yours do. Now, I also want a teachable moment here. There can be underperformers. This one's an underperformer because of the title. The video quality is the same as always, but it's the title, everybody. The video quality for Ask Papa is very, very consistent. And title matters more than thumbnail because Ask Papa does such great thumbnails, and they're all generally, so straightforward, so genuine, and they're authentic style thumbnails. Very simple, but authentic. The title carries more. Now, there are niches where the thumbnail carries more, but for like 80% of all videos, the title does the work. I promise you. And so Ask Papa is a great example of this. So I love it. Ask Papa, I think a weekly live stream will really bring your community together. But I think we should work on it in the academy with you and figure out what the live stream should be about. But I think you should do a live stream weekly, and I think it should be formatted kind of as a podcast. That way you could repurpose it over to Spotify for creators and get another revenue stream out of it. And we can talk about that over in the Academy Pro group with you, because I think that's going to be the key here. I think that's going to be extremely helpful for you. Hopefully, you're already repurposing these shorts on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, because they've lowered the requirements on monetization for Facebook now, so you can do that. So they've lowered the monetization requirements there. You should be able to get to 10,000 followers on TikTok and get monetized relatively quickly with your content. You can start uploading your back catalog. If you with the Facebook and Instagram, you get paid on ads for Reels for both, so you can monetize both of those there. And you can upload the regular YouTube videos to Facebook there. Possibility for that audience being an older demographic, that these might go viral on Facebook as well, and you get paid for those and monetize there. So I think for you, the next time I see you in our meetings, I want to talk about for you getting that extra monetization from Facebook and Instagram, but then also doing a live show that can be repurposed to Spotify for creators. You could also stream that on Facebook as well, and you might get some traction there, and it might be good for your monetization as well. Possibly Twitch, if we do it in podcast form, and it's easier to get Twitch affiliate now. So again, it might just be a little bit of extra money there, but who knows? So why not take advantage of it? It's nothing. It's no extra trouble to do to multi-stream. So we could look at that. And again, repurposing the shorts across all the platforms, including TikTok there, getting the extra monetization if you're not doing that. Yeah, you're repurposing. You said in chat you're repurposing in Facebook and IG and TikTok and Pinterest. Good, 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 good on the Pinterest thing. So yeah, I think that is the direction that I would go for you. This is fantastic, man. It's just so good to see it, and you're such a You're such a genuine creator that it's really just really great to see you winning and crushing it. The way you're going and with the growth here, I think in 1 to 2 years, 100K subscribers. I think you'll be another awesome Creator Academy member with 100,000 subscribers within 18 months to 2 years, if you keep up with what you're doing right now. And then also, I think with the other platforms that you'll flow through subscribers to that, especially the TikTok and Facebook side. I think subscribers will funnel from that here to the channel, just being aware of you. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for more growth to come from that. But so far, again, excellent job, my friend. Great job here. So that's my review for Ask Papa. I mean, we've seen him here for channel reviews before. Heck, at some point, we might literally just do a compilation video for the highlights channel with just the reviews of Ask Papa and how that's been going and just see the growth. And that's the other cool thing. I think with some people coming back to these channel reviews, we're going to be able to do timelines and see the growth of individual creators that we've reviewed over time. And I think that's also what helps a lot of you understand how to utilize YouTube advice. One of the biggest criticisms, and it's a justified one, of YouTube advice channels is not specific individual tailored advice or advice tailored to a specific niche and how broad in general everything is. But that's why we try to do the weekly channel review series so that one, individual people can get that opportunity and you'll also see how it can be applied to different people and when advice does and doesn't apply. And we hope that it's a learning opportunity and teachable moment for people. But again, I'd love to know your thoughts on the Ask Papa channel and about my suggestions for his overall content growth, both for the channel and for just broader content. Um, and again, I also love that with Ask Papa stuff, there's clearly a TV audience for this, for watching YouTube videos on TV, and it's done as basically one of those learning channel reality TV channel things like on Discovery and TLC or like on HGTV. And that's actually the direction I want more of you to think of is like, how can I make my content something people would watch on their television set? Because YouTube is the new TV. So those are my thoughts on Ask Papa. Let me know if you agree with me in the comments if you're watching the replay. Let me know in the live chat if you're watching live. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, no, and I think also homesteading, prepping, tiny home content is going to do really well for the foreseeable future, to be honest with you. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let's see here. Ugh. Yeah, we've got room for 4 more channel reviews tonight, but if we don't get any here soon, we'll probably just call it an evening here in about another 10, 20 minutes, just to not run too late on a Saturday night here. Yeah, so reported. I mean, Jen, we've got time. If you wanted to do a super chat for your handbag fashion channel, I can review that for you. Yeah, my criticism of that handbag niche is not really for you and people in your situation that have like no debt and good income coming in. Like when you have good income and you have steady careers and you have no debt, I'm less concerned about people's consumerism in that way. Just like I'm not concerned with like Marissa Hill and Shade TV with the sneaker stuff. My joking on X about people when it comes to sneakers and handbags is targeted at people who are going into debt. I'm kind of Dave Ramsey boomerish about the debt thing. Even with me, my new goal is okay, time to get out of debt again. Like done it like 5, 6 times. Let's get out of debt again. Let's go to zero debt again. So that's my main thing. But I don't mind it for things that people can't help, but I also don't mind it for people who are not in debt and have their life together. Okay, let's do it. It's Sunshine, Fashion, Love. It was a super old everything channel that you narrowed on to a specific niche with. Okay, very good. Very good. So we'll go ahead and bring that one up. All right, so we have Sunshine, Fashion, Love from Jen from Sewing Report. 135 videos with 8,000 subscribers. It's actually very good. I would, of course, put an upload schedule if there's going to be one in the banner, and I would show off the products and accessories in the banner. Probably lead with a more popular video here for the featured video. Like these thumbnails, if I'm being honest, aesthetically. Love the clean look for these. Love the flat lay look. Bags and purses, pre-loved shopping. Very good idea for that, for people trying to find items on a budget. So I would take an approach to this with basically, and I think you're doing some of this already. I would take the approach to this of a tech YouTuber, but with fashion and purses and handbags and the accessories. And so I think you're already in a smart direction. I would just like to see this become weekly content if possible, if I'm being honest. From a consistency standpoint, I think that this will do well if you can go weekly, because if you are at 8,000 subscribers with 135 videos, if you can go to 1 to 2 times a week, this can be another 100,000 subscriber channel within a 3-year period. Within about a 3-year period, this could go to 100,000 subscribers if you were doing 1 to 2 videos a week. And so what I would do is all of the videos, thumbnails in my mind would be product centric and would be item in hand, or would be flat lay, or would be item in bulk, or would be again item in hand like this that proves that you have the item. Again, very similar to tech creators. Again, mostly the holding it in your hand from a first person perspective is as close to the buyer has as having it in their hand. So again, I would be prioritizing that, and I would be stealing the approach that tech YouTube does, and I would do exactly what works for product reviewers, but I'd be doing it for these handbags. And I would just change the psychology. And the good news for it is you make affiliate revenue versus ad revenue, but we get the ad revenue up if the frequency is there. And since the videos, according to you, are very easy to produce, I would go the route, since they're easy to produce, of making them 1 to 2 times per week, because that at that cadence, think about it. That would mean the cadence of the whole channel becomes the yearly cadence for the channel, but it would compound the growth. So the reason I say it would get to 100,000 subscribers in 3 years, even though you only have under 10,000 now, is because if that's your yearly output, I do think it would compound, and I think you would actually get more per year than 10K. I think you'd get 25 to 30K subscribers per year. So that's why I think in about 3 years, it'd be a 100K channel. I also, again, feel like the affiliate revenue makes it worth it as well, plus the potential for brand deal partnerships. And if it has a way for you to repurpose this content to Facebook, there's a monetization opportunity there. So that's what my thought is. And again, I love the overall thumbnails here. Again, I think this could be great. And if we look at your most popular videos, aside from the ones where you're figuring out everything, yep, everything here product centric for the most part. So yeah, so I would definitely go and I would be the tech review equivalent to the handbag niche with a higher level of frequency of outputs. Um, I think the series that you've been doing, the different series that were on your homepage are good. I just want to see more consistency. Yep. So those would definitely be my thoughts. And again, update to the banner that makes the upload frequency clear. And I would be showing off the handbags in the banner. And I also might show off more of a haul profile pic with you in it, with you in a similar pose to this, but like with a bunch of stuff on the table, haul style. Maybe that's even a panoramic shot for the banner, is more of a haul type deal. Again, for the featured video, I'd lead with one of your more popular videos, or potentially make a new video for that that's more of a haul. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of opportunities there. But what you guys think? Did you agree with my review of Jen's channel? And do you agree with repurposing the effectiveness of what works for product reviewers in the tech niche, but then reformatting that with the psychology of a female centric audience in mind for the handbag niche, but taking advantage of some of the flat lay haul video techniques, the unboxing video techniques, so on and so forth? Do you agree? Disagree with some of my aesthetic recommendations for how to update the visuals of the brand? Let me know in the comment section if you're watching the replay. Let me know in the chat if you're watching live. Boom. There you go, Jen. Yep. So we got a super chat question from our good friend Ask Papa here. Roberto, do you have suggestions for a good camera that is an alternative to the Osmo Pocket 3? I wanted one, but the price jumped to $1,000, and I'm looking around for 500 or less. So for 500 or less, for something that will work in a similar capacity potentially, consider the benefits of the Osmo Action Cam 5, which I think is still $349. So I would consider the Action Cam 3 right here. Or if you want to get around the tariffs, consider having a friend buy it at non-tariff prices and ship it to you from a country where that's not going to be a thing and you can still get it. That's my thought on that. But yeah, the Osmo Pocket 3, sorry, not Osmo Pocket 3, alternative to the Osmo Pocket 3 is the Osmo Action Cam 5. And it is less than 500. It is still 359, I believe. And it's much better than a GoPro. Works with the DJI mics directly. So no problems there. So it's all good. Um, for $500 or less, why would any camera argument not simply use your phone? Several reasons, actually. Several reasons. One, you actually kill the battery life and the overall quality of life of your phone the more you use it as a video content device, believe it or not. Also, in particular, the recent model iPhones are prone to overheating, believe it or not. Very much so, especially when you use them as content creation video cameras or when you try to edit on them for that fact of the matter. Very prone to overheating. Also can be wildly unreliable. In a pinch, Good option in a pinch, but they have their problems and caveats. Very much so. Another thing is a lot of times the video formats that these phone cameras produce end up being incompatible with some of your video editing software. And so it's hard to know that sometimes. So there are caveats to your phone being viable as a content creation device. Now, a lot of us will always tell you, oh, yeah, you can start with your phone, start with what you have. But a lot of people just say, oh, gear doesn't matter, but then they don't qualify it. And the funny thing is, all these creators will tell you gear doesn't matter while using $10,000 worth of camera gear, $5,000 worth of camera gear themselves. I buy everything. And part of the reason so I can talk to you about it and actually know what I'm talking about and know the limitations, and I use everything. So when I was doing some of my stuff on the more Roberto Blake channel experimental vlogs, I was filming on my phone to show you how good it could be, how bad it could be, and that you could make something decent and get a couple hundred to a couple thousand views on a brand new YouTube channel with just your phone. And I felt that I did prove that for the quality that the videos are. There are things that when I get my motorcycle, I'll be doing on that channel because I'm gonna eventually revive that channel, and there'll be reaction videos, reaction streams, and some vlog-like content over there eventually. I'll eventually get to it as a way to blow off steam eventually, but and to put out videos that I wouldn't normally make and to show you experiments with things. But eventually, I'll be using something like this Osmo Action Cam on my moped, and then when I upgrade from my moped, once I get my motorcycle license, I'll be doing it on my motorcycle. So I'll be showing you that and the Osmo 3 and the Action Cam 5, and you'll see that. But I have like both of the DJI microphones, one because I actually need them for different things, but I have the Mini and I have the DJI mic version 2. I can tell you about them because I actually use them. I have the gimbals, and I can tell you about the Osmo gimbals because I actually use the things that people promote and that we put in the affiliate links. I actually use all these things. I can tell you about one of 10 because I actually use it. I can tell you um, about these tools because I have them. I own these things myself, and I compare them all the time. I can tell you what mic to buy because I bought them all. I bought almost all these different podcasting mics, and there's a reason for the desk mount, go with the Shure. For the wireless, I go with the DJI. For shotgun mics, there's a variety of them that can work in different situations because there are different environments they do better in. But I bought I have like eight bloody shotgun microphones. I have like eight or nine different shotgun microphones. I have the Sennheiser MK 200, 300, 600, MKH 416, the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus, the Rode Video Mic Pro, the DD Mic D4, the DD Mic Duo, the DD Mic Mini, the Rode Video Mic Mini. I have so many of these shotgun microphones, right? I have maybe 7 different wireless microphone systems that I've tested. Eventually, me and my brother most likely will revive the Creator Gear Guide channel, and we'll do individual gear reviews with a lot of this, so that you can see the individual pieces of gear and how they're tested. I've been through it all. I've used every major camera system: Fuji, Canon, Nikon, Sony, Panasonic. So when I make recommendations around these things, I know the difference between the brands. I know the difference between the full frame APS-C and Micro Four Thirds cameras. I know the difference between the cinema line cameras and the non-cinema line cameras. I've done DSLR. I've done mirrorless. I've done all of it. And again, I've even done the action cams. So I've done the GoPro and not just the DJI as well. So it's I very much started as a tech and tutorials channel, still in my blood to a degree. There will be aspects of that that come back to main channel content eventually for some kind of Tech Tuesday content as we move forward and as I get back to more uploading and not just streaming. But um, I look at this stuff and I test it and I buy everything. I keep up with the trends. I have preferences, but I try to do what works. So I do feel like I can speak very eloquently to the fact that tech does matter if there are physical limitations that you're trying to overcome. And again, for one of them, there are a lot of ones that your phone and its limitations with overheating, for example, introduce, but also how it affects the lifetime value of your phone and degrading the battery and the usage because of how the video content creation works and the overheating issues. Well, with the iPhone in particular. Um, there may be some caveats for you who are Google or Samsung users, for example. Best camera for interviews. So it depends on how much controlled lighting you have, and it depends on how many cameras you are willing to have for your interviews in terms of whether you want to just have one camera on you, one camera on your subject, or whether you wanted to go to the three camera setup where you have one on you, one on subject, and one that's wide. You could go with a four camera setup that's one on you, one on subject, one wide, and then one really close up on the subject that is more zoomed in. You could go a four camera setup that's one on you, one on subject, one wide, and then one shot that's tracking on a slider, a motorized slider that goes back and forth. So Chris Williams, Modern Wisdom, that's part of one of their things they do in their setup. And so lighting also plays a role in what the interview setup, whether you have controlled lighting or not. If you have enough controlled lighting, then you can, if you have enough controlled lighting, you can use crop sensor APS-C cameras, but I wouldn't recommend micro four thirds cameras. In general, the best ones for interviews in general is cinema line cameras like the Sony FX30, the Blackmagic 6K cameras, and like the Ursa Pro, or cameras like the Sony FX3 or Sony FX2. Now, if you're using the more cameras you use, the more expensive that gets, which is where people stop down to more like an FX30, let's say, right? Now, you can get away with going cheaper than that, but you'll want more lighting if you're doing it. But what I would say is if you're going to go with a two camera setup, maybe the FX30 or the new FX2 from Sony, or at least two Sony A7 Mark IVs or two Sony A7C Mark IIs. Full frame cameras allow you much more flexibility, more dynamic range, and also with the Sony cameras, you have the multi-hot shoe interface so that you can either use wireless mics with an accessory adapter like the DJI Mic version 2, or you can go USB-C and plug in the Mic 2s or the Mic Minis via the USB-C cable, have a digital audio interface there, and then have your two camera subjects fully mic'd up, have it fed into the camera, not have to worry about syncing audio later. And so that'll work for your main track. So that's where you could do, um, some really efficient filming when it comes to taking advantage of what the Sony system offers. Now, there are a lot of people that will use the Blackmagic system, which is perfectly fine. And with their 6K cameras, they do very well. And that can actually handle low light with their cinema cameras. The Ursa Pro Mini, for example. I forget the name of the other one is that's slightly more affordable than that. But I feel that for features, convenience, and for what YouTubers do in general, that the Sony cinema cameras are the best overall interview cameras. Also, if you decide that you want to use handheld XLR microphones for quality or podcast microphones for quality, you can use the XLR handle accessory and run those cables directly into those. If you're going to do that, I still would at least probably use the DJI Mic version 2s with their built-in recording and clip those onto people and use it as a secondary audio, or even do multiple audio backup, meaning that I might use two handheld mics, run the XLRs, still clip these on really quickly, record in the microphone themselves, and still run the receiver into camera number two. That way, I would literally have three versions of the audio for that interview as a just in case, never fail scenario. So that's how extreme you could get with backups and redundancy if it's, oh my God, once in a lifetime interview, can't fuck this up. So excuse me, pardon my French on that. But that's how you would do it. That's how you would want to approach it if you're going all out. Can you do this cheaper and just use two smartphones? Yep, you sure can. Um, However, again, biggest issue is going to also be controlled lighting. I would recommend bringing portable lights, maybe something like do I have one in here? No, it's in my other bag. I would bring a portable light, maybe the Elgato Key Light Mini, because they're 35 bucks. I would spend $100, buy 3 Elgato Key Light Minis, always bring them with me, and have like some cheap mini bendy tripod. Here it is. So I have it in one of my other camera bags. So I would get one of these. These are $35. I'd get these Elgato Key Light Minis. They get bright as hell. I don't know if this one's charged. We'll find out together, I guess. Yep. Thought I kept these charged. Yeah, so you see how these get super, super bright. That's crazy, right? So I get one of these, 35 bucks. I get 3 of them. They also can be connected wirelessly, and you can control them from an app from your phone. You can adjust the brightness and temperature on them. They have a little dial here. They're also magnetic. They clip onto the back of things, but I also use the thread here, put them on a small little bendy tripod or something. And so I'd have 3 of those in my bag if I'm traveling, doing an interview at all times, just to be able to know that I have the ability to augment the lighting. You also probably want to bring a flex light or a cob light with you to film an interview, but as a backup for controlled lighting, you'd want to do that. Best camera for VTuber face tracking. Also recommended lighting for sitting at a desk face tracking. For sitting at a desk, you want to mount Elgato key lights like I do for sitting at a desk to augment if for some reason the angling on them isn't doing everything you need. You can add another one to the desk, which I do here. If I can get if this is working. Yep. So I add another one to the desk if I feel like I need some extra light, or I want to use this other third camera angle that I happen to have. So if I want to use my third camera angle and I want it to be well lit, I just do that. So there you go. So that's how I do it. So there's another light. Boom. But I would use the Elgato key lights. I'd mount them to the desk for that. For a VTuber, for the face tracking, for motion, I'd probably go with OBS bot. I probably get the physical OBS bot and probably use that with its AI tracking. So for that, that's probably the direction I would go. So yeah, that's why I'm thinking Zolo Q. Aren't the new Amaram Verge lights better option than the Elgato desk lights? It depends, because the thing with Elgato is the ecosystem that you get with Elgato. So I think because the ecosystem, the better. For example, the pedal. So I can just use my foot and turn my lights on or off like this. So the pedal makes it better. The entire ecosystem, the mobile app's better. The Citus Link for Amaran is like, it's all right. But yeah, Elgato's ecosystem of accessories for a VTuber setup is going to be better. VTuber's going to need a Stream Deck anyway. VTuber's going to need a Stream Deck anyway. Probably going to need a Stream Deck pedal. And so I just go with the Elgato ecosystem and just control everything. Like I can even literally control the brightness of my lights with the Elgato Stream Deck Plus dial here. So again, like I just feel like the Elgato ecosystem is the advantage of using the Elgato lights for the desk. So yeah. Yeah, no offense to Amaran. I buy stuff from Amaran and I bought stuff for what do you call it? I bought stuff for Amaran and Aperture, so I have nothing against them. T's Hot Mess History. Hey, Roberto, emailed you the link for Play by Plaque still active. Need to know how to get it to you. Yeah, actually, I will email you between tonight and tomorrow about that. Thank you so much. Why did I say T? It's Ty. I keep doing that. Me and Nick Nimmin keep doing that. So yeah, appreciate you. Let's see. Yeah. And so yeah, Ty's Hot Mess History over 186K has done one-on-one coaching with me. And like this is a really great like history like channel and is like again the scandals of the what would you say probably the late 19th through early 20th century based on the time period. Again, it's a very cool channel. It's very different and it really stands out. Something I really think is interesting is the direction you've gone in with just different branding for the thumbnails. And I think that's really smart. I think that there's a possibility of how AI can help with some of these and also making some of them more unique. Because I think that you could use actually AI to generate um thumbnails if because like some of these you are finding historical photos and so there's only so much you can do with them if you use Canva or Photoshop. However, if you use AI, it can help you with repositioning them to where the text works out better and stuff like that so that you don't hit the timestamps and different things. So that can help. Also, if you're not already, you could actually start using probably Claude, if not ChatGPT, but probably Claude will be more accurate to help you with finding and researching for these videos and to help tweak your scripts, not write them for you, but to help tweak them and to improve them or help you with the research aspect of it. So I would do that for sure. I also think people are really interested in scandals right now of some of the older presidents and first ladies. So it might be worth digging into seeing if there are some scandals you can uncover from first ladies and presidents. Actually, you might be able to do a series on the first ladies and their scandals throughout history through the 1800s through the 1900s. And so that's actually a good series you might be able to do. Um, I think also potentially a series on these old oligarch families. People would love you covering the scandals of the Vanderbilts, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. People would love that, I think. I think doing a series about the different conspiracy theories of the families on the Titanic. People love that. People never get over it. So I think like covering the conspiracy theories around because like you had one here with the Titanic window of John Jacob. I think doing a Titanic series that goes into some more of the different families, especially the ones whose lines ended. Uh, because I like you did some of those, but I just feel like there's more that can be done there. And I think a refresher, because you haven't done it in a while. You haven't done it in a while, so I think a refresher. This one did well. These okay, so these Titanic ones have done well. Hmm. Oh yeah, the Great Depression, that's a good era. Also, yeah, yeah, in general, look at fallen dynasties and fallen titans and look at bloodlines that ended. Ooh, a Bloodline series. A Bloodline series is really good. So yeah, so I would look for angles like that. I would maybe even do a series on famous mistresses. Like famous mistresses would also be a really good one, especially people who had very public mistresses. Yeah. And I think a lot of the rags to riches and riches to rags and rags to riches and to rags again stories would also be very enticing. Yeah. So those would be some of my thoughts for you there. And again, I think using AI to help you regenerate things using old photos as a base can help make the thumbnails stronger. I love this thumbnail. This thumbnail is extremely strong. I like that. You probably did use some AI for these last couple of ones. So again, very good job there. So yeah, ties, hot mess history. I think that that works. Oh, also an idea. I think updating your profile pic and maybe using some like angle where you tie it into the story a little bit. Like maybe you dress up, but you do it in color, but you dress up in Victorian garb yourself. I think that could do something there. And then for the banner here, if you're going more with the black and white and red all over theme, I might use that in the banner as well. Yep. So those would be my thoughts for Ty's hot mess history scandals from the 18 and 1900s. Again, love this channel. It's been great working with you over the years. And yeah, I'll get back to you on sending me another play button for the Hall of Fame here. But yeah, no, great stuff. I think that this is a channel where getting stuff out more frequently can definitely be helped by having AI do a little bit of help with sourcing and research as long as it's accurate, and at least putting you in the right direction, and even sometimes with helping making more polarizing titles. But I'd love to know you all's thoughts on this in the comment section if you're watching the replay, and in the chat if you're watching live. Oh yeah, one on the Waltons, that might be good. Yeah. Enthusiast Impression says, "What lens for a Sony full frame camera would you suggest for vlog style content? Currently looking at the Laowa 10 millimeter with autofocus. The 10 millimeter is far too wide. I would use the 20 millimeter, and they made a new 16 millimeter. So I would probably use the 16 millimeter, the 20 millimeter, or I would consider using the 16 to 35 f4 power zoom, even though you're using a full frame camera. I'd consider that, or the 16 to 35 G Master, but probably not the 12 to 24. The 12 to 24 is too heavy. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. This is the 50 millimeter. Ah, here it is, I think. Yes, this is the 12 to 24. So this is the 12 to 24 G Master lens here. It's way too heavy even with a full frame. I think for vlogging, particularly if you vlog on a gimbal, I think it's way too heavy. I think it's way too big. I think that the protruding element of the glass is going to give you nothing but anxiety. So very high quality glass, but also very heavy. Hitting someone with this in the head is a bad day. That's a concussion, if not a cracked skull outright. if not putting putting a body on the floor. So this is like, not the move. So I would not use this. I would use a 24 millimeter, a 16 millimeter, possibly even a 14 millimeter, or a 16 to 35. I would not use a 12 to 24, not for vlogging. 100, 50, 85, 85. Yeah, I'd use the new Sony 16 millimeter. I'd use a 14 millimeter. I'd use a 20 or 24 millimeter, or I'd use a 16 to 35. Yeah, for an easy to carry, I wouldn't go with a 10 millimeter. It's just too wide. It's almost a fish angle lens, basically. Um, I'd use that 16 to 35 for sure, or a 24 millimeter. 16 to 35 gives you the most versatility in vlogging, so I'd probably go with that, to be honest with you. I even had my brother use that on the ZV-10 as a crop sensor for his stuff, so yeah. Yeah, you don't trust AI with research. Generally for stuff that's history based, I would theoretically trust Claude more than ChatGPT, but the way I use it is I don't actually use it in research the way other people do. What I do to use the research is I ask it to generate links to existing articles and news clippings, and so I use it to find sources, right? So basically I use AI to build a card catalog, so to speak, of actual websites where I can do my own research. So I use it to find the sources for me that I can trust, if that makes sense. Because it's just easier to generate the links that I need to go to the places that I'm going to use in order to benefit from the AI. So that's how I use the AI for the research, is I use it to generate the links to sources that I can read and trust and verify. So that's how I use it. And I think that that's like a more practical approach. Yeah, you could think you could also argue it's a more ethical approach to using it, but I think it's just a more practical approach to using it, because I'd want to be able to cite my sources anyway. Someone asked, when did YouTube get a leaderboard ranking? It's had it for a good while now with the community feature. So I'd say it's had it for a little over a month. Yeah. T says, Ty says, that makes sense the way that you're using it for AI research. The research is my favorite part of the video making process. Yeah. Yeah, I just think it helps streamline things. And I think it makes it easier by far. And I think it makes it less time consuming to use it in that way. Yeah. But I also think when you have old historical photos and they don't work for exactly the way you need to use them in YouTube, using AI to remake them into the size, height, or with spacing or expanding the background when you need that for those old-timey photos, or to make them sharp and not blurry, to make them as if they were shot on a camera, a modern camera, I think that's extremely helpful for a channel like yours. I also think it could help with turning the photos into better versions of black and white or color, and or also helping you create this split tone effect of a black and white and color split tone. If you wanted to use that style, I think it can help with things like that. So those are things where I feel it benefits. That's where I feel there's a benefit to using the AI. And it can be faster than trying to do it yourself if you're not a graphic designer or a photo manipulator yourself. So, I mean, I think it helps with that a lot. You have the ZV-10 and you're thinking 10 millimeter first, then the 16 to 35. Nah, I disagree with the 10 millimeter. The 10 millimeter, it's just that the way it distorts and warps the image is not going to be good. It's the distortion that's the problem for the 10 millimeter because again, 10 millimeter, you're talking basically a fisheye look, to be honest with you. That's the issue. Tech says, question, I have a short that has 20,000 views. Congratulations. Sorry, 200,000 views. Congratulations. And I already made 5 videos about how can I get more topic ideas out of that short. Look to the why somebody watches that and then think about, okay, why did they watch that? Okay, if this is true about that person, what else is true about that person? Now, if those things are true about those person, what else will those people watch? That's how I would do it. So again, when you have a successful video and you want to capitalize off of it, you need to think about if this person enjoyed this, why? And what does that say about them as a person, as an individual? If that's true about that individual, what else is true about that individual? And that's how I would approach it. Yep, thanks for the suggestions. Look forward to talking with you again. I see AI as a productivity tool, not as a creative tool. I don't want to get left behind, so I need to use AI when necessary. Yeah, that's why I made my AI creator prompts. That's why I have like embraced AI. I want people to not get left behind, but I also want them to use it not as a full-on replacement for creativity or content creation, but to really think about how to use it to enhance their productivity and their skills. However, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there aren't legitimate concerns when it comes to AI potentially being able to replace creators for certain things. Because I'm just gonna, I generated this. This is gonna be for my faceless music channel. I generated this with text using AI using Google Veo. So using Google Veo, I art directed and had this animated using Google Veo's AI, which it's going to allow me to do for YouTube videos. And it generated this whole animation for me. And as you can see, this is like a 43 seconds of animation that I'm going to be able to loop on my lo-fi channel. And I was able to do this with its AI. When I pay an animator, which I've done in the past, it cost me um, for every 5 seconds of animation cost me $400 for every 5 seconds of animation. So this is 40 seconds of unique animation that I can loop. So 8 times 400, this would have cost me about $3,600 to pay somebody to make. It would have cost me roughly 3 grand, between 3 and 4 grand. For what it is, it would have cost me 3 or 4 grand to make. I have access to the tool that makes this for about 120 something dollars a month, $40 a month, I think it is. I think when it's all said and done, my package after 3 months will be like two change a month. And I can make these multiple times every day and get this out of it. And I could use it for my music YouTube channel. So I could have a chance of making back 100, $200 a month on that channel, as an 1,800 subscriber channel. I could probably make, under the right conditions, you know, 200 or $300 from that. When I pay my ghost producer to make music, I could probably make that money back eventually. But making back $3,000 per animation is not something I could feasibly do if I were to pay for this outright. Therefore, in a situation like that, this makes making that kind of animated content for the music channel and making something people on the music channel would enjoy in the background on their TV or wherever when they're watching or listening to this. You could see how this would work and how it would make the monetization for that channel break even or go eventually profitable. But if I paid for this outright, that's literally impossible. Not without viral views, by the way. So um, there are some things where AI is going to displace parts of the whole creative process to some degree. But that's a conversation for another day. But I thought I'd show you guys that because one, it's pretty dope, to be honest, what it's capable of. But it's also, I will tell you the truth when it comes to AI, is it's getting really good at certain things. There are situations where it's still not perfect. There were some animation flaws that were in the seamlessness, but even in animators that I paid, and I've paid animators, I've paid thousands of dollars for artists and animators over the years. I've paid thousands upon thousands of dollars to freelancers for various projects over the last decade, tens of thousands of dollars. And what I can tell you is with the human, I still get flaws or things that didn't work out. With certain things for AI, it gets closer and closer to giving me what I could or theoretically could want. Maybe not perfect, but for the price that I'm paying, it's more than good enough compared to still not getting it perfect and paying infinitely more money. I do not feel that paying $3,000 to $5,000, I get a better outcome. I certainly don't get a faster outcome. I'd get a close to, especially with the detail involved here, even at $5,000. And again, I don't have a way to make that money back easily without going viral, you see. So therein lies the problem. Um but I cannot get it better and I cannot get it faster, and I certainly can't get it cheaper. AI is the most disruptive thing I've seen in my life because it is an instance where you can get it better, you can get it faster, you can get it cheaper, and it's never been that. No technology for the most part has gotten us um that far in all of those dimensions before. So I do think it's disruptive. I do think there are instances where it will displace people, or change the dynamics of the competition. I am not naive to that. Um, I think it's reasonable for people to feel concerned or threatened over it, but I don't think you're going to talk consumers out of it because consumers are outcome based. I do think there are some relationships. I'll give you a prime example. I will still pay for character design work, but I could then take that character design work and now I can get it animated at a much cheaper, faster cost to break even. So my artist that I commission would still make their $150, maybe more per thing, because it might make more sense now to hire them more now that I have a way to actually take it further and to extract value. So this, ironically, this would make me pay for more character design commissions, but not for more animation from a different vendor. So one vendor will lose, but another vendor I have will profit. So that's how that would work out. Well, actually, two vendors would profit because then I also have a reason to commission my ghost artist for more stuff as well. I'm sorry, my ghost producer as well. So the composer and the illustrator would get more money, but the animator in this case would not. But that's my particular situation with that. But it's where it would make more sense for me because then I could scale the music channel that way because human generated music still makes sense, especially for reasons of copyright. Having a human centric artist design my own characters so that I have the IP and I can copyright and trademark that, that makes sense. But once I take those things and then attach animation to it, I still have the IP rights by going that way because it's just the AI animating the character that we own and the music being sunk to it, so it works out. So that makes sense for the human component there from an intellectual property standpoint in terms of point of origin. We're just augmenting what we own at that point. So again, in this case, the animator would get less work from me, but the artist would not because of the IP angle of work for hire from a human, and the same thing with the music angle. So the music producer and the artist would get more commissions because I can make more money monetizing this. And then the animator ends up losing that money because the it flows back toward the character designer and the ghost music producer. In terms of budget, the budget shifts. But then I'd also have more revenue coming from the channel to justify hiring them too. So there will be losers and winners in these scenarios, but it doesn't mean that all humans are eliminated from the process. It just means that now the dynamics of who are the winners and losers change. And again, there are a lot of people I can understand why they'd be uncomfortable with that. I understand why a lot of people are threatened by that. I understand why a lot of people are adamantly against that. But it's just going to be the course of things. It's going to be natural progression. It's how it's going to play out. So it is what it is. Yeah, the leaderboards are not rolled out for everyone yet. It is for select channels. Doug Hewson is bringing that up in chat. Thanks, Doug. Doug, if you haven't, you might make a video about that and about those community features and things in beta right now, because people definitely have questions about it. So there's a lead for you on a video idea. Hey, Roberto, good to see you. Thoughts on where YouTube is going and what has changed recently? Is long form still king? Long form still king for multiple reasons, but the future of YouTube is content that's made to be watched on television instead of content that's primarily made to be watched on a smartphone. Now, again, smartphone experiences, there still are some mobile first, mobile people, mobile first, mobile only people. I think you have to move from not just thinking about making content for your audience avatar, but also for how they consume on devices. Even I am going to start making shorts and making them a very specific way, dedicated shorts, not just clipping stuff, but dedicated shorts. I'm going to be having a dedicated short strategy at some point because mobile first, mobile only experiences, including and especially search mobile only experiences. I was waiting for 3-minute shorts to do that. Now we have them. Now I can do it because I need more than 60 seconds for some things that make sense for me. So I'm going to have to go to a mobile first, mobile only strategy for vertical video. But I also am going to reintroduce into my channel content that makes sense to watch on desktops because of the tutorial videos, for desktops because someone's going to follow along while using their software. That's working for things like my green screen tutorial. But I'm also going to start making some made for TV content. Maybe once a month, I'm going to do day in the life of a full-time content creator as a vlog, like cinematic vlog series that ends up being a 16 to 22-minute episode. So I have some made for TV type content where I own everything, and make a series that feels made for TV, make a reality TV style series. The other thing I'm working on again is, okay, casual content for people to listen in the background that can be the podcast getting back up, doing that. So I'm looking at YouTube and content strategy from a device standpoint as well as an audience standpoint. I think more of you should be doing that. I think you should be looking at live, shorts, and videos. Videos, I think, should be made to be watched on the television now, whether it's short form or long form. And by short form or long form, let me phrase that. Whether they're shorter videos or longer videos, I think they should be made with a TV viewer in mind. And then if they're going to watch on the phone, so be it. But I think it should also be good to watch on TV. I think for phone viewers, you should start prioritizing shorts videos and vertical videos. And then I think that live video experiences, broadcast experiences should be designed with replay value and designed in a way where people can just listen to it with their AirPods in. Yeah. For a lot of people, TV is going to be your number one viewing device now. People come home, and if they're going to watch content, they don't want when they're at home. And there is a big audience of people watching videos at their home. Even gaming content, people don't want to watch it on the smallest screen they have. This is the smallest screen you have. Why wouldn't you watch your content on the biggest screen you have? This is for when you're out of the house, or when you're on the can, or when you're like, in low agency mode somewhere. This is for also listening to content in the background with your earbuds in while you're on the job. But when people are at home, biggest screen they have is what they want to watch on. So people want to watch content on the biggest screen they have, especially on the weekend. Yeah, there are a lot of copyright and ownership issues around AI. Again, that's why I circumvent it with point of origin and then just augmenting something with AI. If you generate something with AI, it's a copyright problem. If you alter something you already own with AI, it's not. So what the answer here is very simple. Generate it with you owning it by doing it yourself, or work for hire with a human. Hire a human to generate it organically, or generate it organically yourself. Now, a human owns it, or it's transferable to a human because of work for hire contract. Then alter and augment and enhance it with AI, because then it's just an enhancement and it's just a tool. But the original thing sits with you. That negates the problem. Yep. But I think that's gonna do it for it tonight. Do it tonight, guys. My voice is giving out, and now I'm out of Topo Chico to hydrate with. So we're gonna be calling it a night. That's it. That's all she wrote. Thank you to everybody for joining the stream. Thank you to our sponsors for the YouTube channel reviews, oneof10.com. Use discount code Roberto at checkout to get 20% off. Make sure you're checking them out. Let's see. Next week we will have the Wednesday workshops back. We're going to be doing the business of content creation, how to set up your LLC, all of those other things. So that's going to be coming on Wednesday for our workshop. We'll do another channel review set on next Friday. And that's going to be it for this one. This is the last live stream for May. So hope you guys have a good night. Welcome to June, starting tomorrow, my birthday month. I'll be speaking at VidCon on June 21st for anybody in the California area. So hopefully seeing some of you there. But other than that, stay awesome and stay tuned. You're going to learn more about Awesome Creator Academy. If you're interested in joining the pro group, we have links to everything in the description. Stay awesome. I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Becoming a content creator can be a very lonely process and adventure, but it doesn't have to be. When I first got started going from 0 to 100,000 subscribers, I had to do it all by myself. I didn't have a community of like-minded and like-hearted creators to talk to or to ask for advice, and I certainly didn't have a mentor to guide me along the way. I built the Awesome Creator Academy Pro Group because when I was getting started, what would have meant the world to me is not to have to struggle alone when it comes to being a full-time content creator. If I had had a community of creators that I could talk to and share information with, I would have avoided a lot of mistakes in my early career, and there would have been opportunities with brand deals where I would have gotten a better understanding of how to negotiate, and I wouldn't have undersold myself. I wouldn't have been taken advantage of in those early situations. So in the Awesome Creator Academy Pro Group, myself and our co-instructor Andy Rivera, we meet twice a week for office hours with our creators, and we share information, we talk about how we're building our creator businesses, and we offer constructive criticism and critique on the things that we're working on for our projects. You'll be part of a community of usually around 100 like-minded creators who are taking this seriously just like you are. You'll also have all access as a pro group member to all of our past, present, and future courses, training, templates, digital downloads, and swipe files. You have full access to our creator blueprints where you'll see our systems and the frameworks that we use to execute. You know, you always fall or rise to the standard of your systems. A lot of people really underestimate how important that is. We have digital download templates that can help you so you don't have to start with a blank canvas. These done for you files are actually incredibly helpful, especially for things like your thumbnails, your media kits, and anything you need for your branding as a content creator to look professional. We have email swipe files that help you with reaching out to brands. We have great information in helping you price yourself and build your packages appropriately. And remember, as part of the pro group, you have the opportunity to ask questions from myself and all the other creators participating. And so this means that if you need to ask questions about a negotiation or a brand deal, there's something you're not sure about, you're trying to find a better monetization opportunity with merch or affiliates, you have people who have done it before, who are already making money that you can reach out to for advice. As I said, when I was starting out and I was flying solo, this is the thing that I wish I'd had the opportunity to be a part of, and it would have made all the difference in the world in helping me be an even more successful content creator. If you have questions, you can always reach out via support. We're happy to help you figure out if the pro group is right for you. Also, we do have the opportunity for you to become a VIP member if you also would like quarterly one-on-one coaching with me directly. Now go out there and create something awesome today, and hopefully we'll see you in the pro group. Take care.